So the director and writer of Black Panther was arrested for trying to take out money out of his checking account at a Bank of America. I thought T.I. said that this was our Wakanda. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
So Ryan Coogler, the director and writer of Black Panther and Black Panther 2, was arrested for trying to take money out of his checking account at a bank in Atlanta. And watching the video, I'm like, wow, like this has got to be a prank. Like this is not real. The man said he came in, he wrote on a little thing, gave the note to the lady, had his debit card, had his ID, it matched. He said he need to, on the paper he said he need to withdraw $12,000. Now, say what you want, because people are saying, well, why he have on shades, why he have on that hat? Like, why did he just not say that? So many things, so many variables can be changed, but there's only one variable that cannot be changed. And the fact that Ryan Coogler is a black man. He's black, point blank, period. So to say that none of that was one of the things that was thought about while the police were being called, if you don't think that ran through their head, then you don't understand anti-blackness, and you should stop talking and you should stop tweeting. Now, some people will say, well, it was a black woman working at the bank teller. Like she was the one who called the police and actually thanked the police. Black folks can be anti-black. Woo! You didn't know that? We're all living in a world of anti-blackness. So yes, there can be some black folks who are dealing with internalized anti-blackness. It's a real thing. That's why we do video. That's why we talk about stuff like this. This is why when you talk about folks like writing threads and writing thesis papers and writing whole essays about stuff like this, because they want y'all to understand what is really going on. And let's talk about it. You had two, well, one was a brown person and another police officer was black that arrested him and had a conversation. Now, this could have went different ways. People saying, oh my gosh, this could have ended in death. It has already. And so many other black folks who are not Ryan Coogler, who do not have the notoriety like a Ryan Coogler, whose story will go untold, whose stories will not be mentioned at all, that will not be like celebrity news and gossip, will not get in front of, like I will not see it because it's such a common thing. Look how many black folks we have seen being harmed by police. So what is it that we can do to make it better? This is why we're saying abolish the police. This is why you have people saying that. This is why the same thing that people say, oh, well, we don't need to abolish police. That's a bad term. It's not gonna help us win elections. We're not interested in winning elections. We're interested in saving black folks. Like that's what we're interested in. This is why we are talking and having these type of conversations, because stuff like that happens so often. And I had a conversation with a friend, and I'm not really interested in like having a debate or anything with anybody about this, because this was anti-blackness, this was police, all of that. Because even if you try to switch it out and say, well, they were scared, they didn't know, why are we scared? Why are people robbing banks to begin with? If we're gonna really go there, let's take it there. Why are people robbing banks? Why do people feel the need to rob banks and stuff? Why is that? Why is that? Capitalism. Like, if we're gonna really have these conversations, we need to really have these conversations. Stop looking for scapegoats. Because if we're gonna sit up here and say, oh, well, folks do rob banks, then what are they robbing banks for? Why is this? Why should people rob banks? Like, think about that. And think about the fact that this, and I saw somebody tweet, and I was like, that was so stupid. Wow. He had, even though like somebody could be in there with a debit card and the ID, and if they steal the money, they steal the money. If they steal the money, they steal the money. If somebody comes in there and able to scam Bank of America out of $12,000, considering all the lawsuits and stuff that Bank of America has experienced with underpaying black folks and fucking over black folks, like all these banks are no good. Wells Fargo was called out a couple of times. Bank of America was called out for making people overdraw, making poor people overdraw their accounts so they can make money and make profits and stuff. So please, I don't care if somebody came in and scammed Bank of America out of some money. So be it. So be it. Take it. Take it. You are a $1 billion corporation. You will be fine. Y'all will find some way to get that money back. You'll write off on your taxes. Y'all find ways to do it all the time. Like y'all find ways not to pay federal income taxes. Like y'all find ways to not pay federal taxes or state taxes. You will find a way. You'll find a way. So all of these variables, all these things are saying, well, Ryan Coogler, like all of the stuff is being put on Ryan Coogler that he should not have his shades on. He shouldn't have all these things that black folks have to think about to protect themselves just to live, and it still would have made no difference because there's black folks who've done everything and still have died in the hand of police. Still have died. Still have their lives taken. Like, so what's going on? So what now? Yes, Ryan Coogler could have came in there with his hat off. He could have came in with the shades off. He should have said, hey girl, I need to get $12,000. Ryan Coogler, I'm sure, did not want to make a scene and say, hey, make everybody nervous, I need $12,000. Like, people are listening. I have went in there and been nervous. I've never thought to write down some stuff. I've never thought to like write down. It's like that makes sense. Also, this is a celebrity. He might not want people to even know who he is. And then what's all interesting about this is Ryan Coogler was taking this money out to pay one of his workers that is taking care of his kid. Like that was, she wants to be paid in cash. So if we really want to think about it, I just don't know. Like, he taking the money out to do this. Like, he can't take his money out of the account. Like, he should have did this and that. He should have had his assistant. I know what should have happened is the first thought should have been to call the police because the police are dangerous. There was no de-escalation. There was no whatever. They come in. He said, Ryan Coogler said out of his own mouth that he heard them pull out Glocks. Pull out Glocks for $12,000. Somebody's life was about to be in danger because of them taking out $12,000. And I want people to think about that for a second, because who is losing? Who is losing? If somebody had came in there and robbed the bank, all of that, your money and stuff should still be good. The only person who's losing is not even a person, it's a corporation. So if they came in there and robbed their bank, okay, so I'm gonna always side with the victim. Like, Ryan Coogler is the victim in this situation. Like, I don't care how you try to spin it, how you let anti-blackness creep inside of you to say, well, he should have did this and that. I don't know. It's anti-blackness, babes. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you sleep at night, like justifying this type of action, because the police should have never been called. First of all, if you want to be technical, the supervisor, once the bank teller was met with that, and she said she felt nervous, she felt something, she went to the then supervisor. The supervisor should have stepped in and then intervened. The supervisor told her, hey, you might want to call the police. The supervisor should have stepped in and then took over from then and there. Like, the supervisor should have did that, but it's just like, girl, I don't know, we don't want to take no chances, so now we're going to put this black man. So now you're wrong. So now you're wrong. So now a black person's life could have been taken. Can you imagine? Like, this man literally just lost a close friend not too long ago. Like, and like, this is what, like, I would be out here devastated. Like, oh my gosh. Like, this is triggering. Like, I've never had no situation where somebody pull out police. Like, Ryan Coogler has literally done a movie about stuff like what? I couldn't imagine. And you can can tell in the video he is pissed off. Like he's trying to control himself. Like had Ryan Coogler made any wrong move, them folks would have took his life because it's happened before. Like it's happened before, like for $12,000. Like somebody was called and the police were called and pulled up, and this is the energy coming in with guns. Never did we see this person had a weapon or, you know, There was nothing that you can see to show that he would have done anything. He was simply kindly wait. I don't know anybody who's out here robbing the bank and or doing anything like that, but even if they are, it's not worth their life being taken. And this is why, like, we don't need to be, oh, just in case they are stealing. We need to be just in case this person, so we can keep them alive. That should always be the thing. We need to keep this person alive. Like, even if they are robbing the, like, it's a chance they're robbing the bank. Why would we want to be wrong and then a person ends up dying? Like, why would we want to be wrong? Like, the police call, like, oh my God, it's so much. It's just so much. And people are trying to justify, you know, what he could have done, what could have been better. And it's just really sad. It's just really sad. You know what I love about all of this is Ryan Coogler kept his mask on the entire time. He was like, girl, you ain't finna give me COVID. Y'all ain't finna give me COVID, Yana. But I think that the bank teller, you know, her saying, you know, her like saying that she felt nervous, she went to the supervisor. The supervisor's actually, to me, at fault. And then I actually saw a tweet from someone who apparently used to work at a Bank of America. And they had this to say: people pass notes when they want to make large withdrawals all the time. Imagine a crowded, echoing bank and the teller repeats, that's 12,150, sir? Not safe. Notes normally tell you the amount and they want their money. Easy. The teller, yikes. The manager, bigger yikes. The BOA has line managers. They roll behind the line, making sure everything is cool and provide their password for large transactions. Note, all transactions over $9,999 require IRS form, so the line manager was needed anyway. And honestly, when I had closed on my home, that is completely true. Like anytime you do any of that, you do a wire over, like they want, girl, what's the T? But where is money going to? We need to do some stuff, like what's going on. Then this person named that they had did this with Allen Iverson a couple of times. And there's so many things, and it's just, I think it's a mistake, but a mistake that could have cost someone their life. And I think that is a conversation we need to be having, that this mistake, however, because, you know, things happen, but it should like end up in someone losing their life. So we need to talk about the heavy like police presence and stuff like this when it happens. Like, you know, there was no force, there was no nothing, and force was the first reaction. Non-force was met with force immediately. And we think about when people, like we call 911, we say, hey, such and such is dealing with this, the police are coming, we have people showing up with guns, trying to dissolve a situation. Like it's just, and once again, it's a conversation about the police don't stop crime because we're calling them after the crime is done. So they're called after the thing, and come to find out there was no crime. The only crime that happened was them harassing Ryan Coogler, like he had did something wrong and he didn't do anything wrong. So my friend said, girl, they need to be suing the hell out of Bank of America. Like, how he would be giving a lawsuit. He said, out like, definitely would have fell out to the floor. Like, I'm glad that Ryan Coogler is fine. This was an unfortunate, very, very sad situation, and I really hate that he experienced that. But watching this whole thing just was so devastating. It was so like sad seeing him. Just like, oh my God. Like, I can imagine, like, I would have probably, myself, I ain't gonna lie, I would have, coming up to me, I would have been so nervous, I would have freaked out. I would have just like collapsed. I would have fainted. I would have said, girl, that's it. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me. Dude, I would have been gone. Like, meeting me with like something like that, oh girl, I would have been gone. I would have been gone. So, yeah, that's all my thoughts on it, girl. The video, if you ain't seen it, check it out, girl. Tell me your thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought about my whole conversation about it in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye.